So today it's a bit gloomy, wetty, windy, and it's the end of summer vacations. So a perfect day to visit a crematorium. So I said crematorium, but it's not crematorium per se. This is what it used to be. Now this is a Orthodox church. So they turned old crematorium into the Orthodox church in 1950s, but nevertheless it used to be a crematorium, 32nd oldest crematorium in the world, modern crematorium in the world. And now you see an Orthodox church. Well, changed, and some towers, you know, they added some towers, but the rest of the building is pretty same as it was when the building was established, the crematorium was established. So let's take a look. North American Crematorium Association claims that the oldest crematorium in the world was built in Woking, just outside London, but that's not true. You see the lamps? There is a stadium, football stadium on this other side of the hill, other side of the Orthodox Church, ex-crematorium. That's a plank of Orthodox Church. It was established in 1956, I think. Ooh, I don't want to mess around. You see, Orthodox cross. Someone let me in. The tradition of burning people is much more older. It started at least 20,000 years ago. At least. During the Greece and Roman times, it was super popular. It ended in 395, I think, with Emperor Constantine. And now we see the church in old crematorium. Very interesting. The architecture is very German, very, you know, a bit Gothic in a way. Neo-Gothic, Gothic revival. The living quarter. The living quarter. So the gallery of Orthodox churches in Poland. You see, St. Nicholas Cathedral, Eastern Orthodox St. Nicholas Cathedral in ex-crematorium. Let's take a look inside for a minute, just for a minute, because the mass is starting. The mass is starting. We don't want to mess around. Dziękuję bardzo. Eastern Church, Catholic Church in Poland, this particular one, it's called Autocephalus, which means it stands on its own merit. They are just independent. The head of Eastern Orthodoxy is based in, namely, Istanbul in Turkey. Patriarchic tradition in Istanbul goes back to the Roman times, when the city was called Constantinople. Okay, let's move up. What's the biggest difference between East and Western Catholic Church? Well, I think the biggest difference is that the Eastern Orthodox clergy can get married. They can have a wife. Well, they can have a wife before they can get married, before the last vows. One more. Beautiful crematorium, beautiful church. The biggest difference is a female theme, female topic in both churches. Well, what can you do in Catholic Church? Basically nothing. When you become a priest, you have a couple of options, but basically they are controversial, let's say. You can become a noitern, a wanker, child abuser, womanizer, or a saint. Actually, I said a wanker. Wanker is a English slang word, so check it out if you don't know. I won't translate it for you. There is a pitch, there's a football stadium. Let's try from here. Whoa. You see something? You have to believe me, there is a pitch. Now we've been moving up to the hill. The hill was called originally the Gallows Hill. They hang people on it, on the top of the mountain. There were gallows and the justice. It's been laying for 2 hours now. The condition a bit changed. And the first grave, Anna Metschink. When the crematory was running, they had the Urns Cemetery, Urns Cemetery, and this is the remainings of it. It's not really a cemetery right now. It's not functioning as a cemetery. They turned into the park, the piece of art a bit also. We'll see it soon. Whoa. So picturesque. Not really. Just the city, just the concrete, just the blocks. This is the entrance to the park, nostalgic park as it's called. I tell you, this piece of art, funeral piece of art. So let's go. The first cemetery here was organized before First World War, or maybe just when the war started, and it was organized by the association called Die Flamme, or the Flame in English. You catching, right? Not many tombstones remained. Arthur Schick. To our times, Hugo Zide, but still some. Most of the tombstones are taken by the nature. Klawkowski, Grinda Klawkowski, so the Polish surname. Caroline Büchler, she died in 1934. Another Polish surname, Hanna Kielbranowski, something like that. You see the tombstones, the graves, looks a bit cheap, isn't it? Simple, coarse. Maybe it was cheaper to burn the guy or the girl in the crematorium than to organize all the religious fest around it, as it used to be, as it was in Catholic tradition. I think that's 5, so this must be one of the, or 3. If it's 5, that's one of the last burials, last cremated person in Gdańsk. If you're interested in the topic, I highly recommend you to watch a Czech movie called Spalovac Mrtvol, which is translated as the Cremator. The movie is from 1969 and it's a horror movie. The action takes place during the Second World War, and the guy is working in crematory, and he's a cremator. And he's affiliated with SS, with German police, German Nazis in Prague, in Czech Republic, then occupied. But he's also very found on Buddhism, and I think the Buddha part of it is the most scary. So Spalovac Mrtvol, the Cremator, highly recommended horror movie, The Glory of Nature. So this one is quite interesting. Whole family. So whole family decided to be cremated. Very modern, very present. The family is called Nietzsche. August, Gertrude, and Ludwig. And the biggest one of all, impossible to get the name. You see how big is it? That's my hand. Good stone. If you will ask me, do I want to be cremated after the end of my life? Not really. I don't want to be cremated. I want to become a tree. Yes, that's the idea, which was first proposed and by Austrian artist and painter called Friedrich Stowasser, or Hundertwasser, as he called himself. Hundertwasser was a nickname. He was a painter, artist, architect, famous, but also a bit obscure. I don't know if he's most obscure or more famous, but nevertheless, when he died, he planted himself. When he died, he ordered his family to be turned into the soil, and from this soil the deciduous tree sprout out. So he turned himself into the tree. So from the corpse to the soil to the tree. So I want to become a tree, like Hundertwasser. Quite funny thing, he was buried. This tree now grows in New Zealand, and he died on the cruise ship called Queen Elizabeth II. So if that's a piece of art, we can make a piece of art of it, add some more art and more nature.